Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Committing another iRacing and safety rating suicide. I already killed it enough trying to get a B-class fixed series racing at Daytona and got wrecked coming across the start-finish line to start lap 2. It's probably karma for the dumb mistake I made in the truck series race, but that's enough for me to not run Daytona anymore. I know I talked about possibly running the truck series first week for the open full season. I just am not going to worry about it. It's not worth it. I can work on building setups, run all the non Talladega Daytona races, and see if I'm actually getting better or not without running for points. You know, for me, the points mean some of them, but don't really mean something. So decided to jump into a open super late model race here at Lanier. I had a ton of issues trying to get into the session, so barely just got into it. Car number 5, starting 9th, didn't get to qualify at all, literally got in with like 5 seconds before qualifying start. Took an OSR setup, made a couple modifications. Probably going to be really bad. I guarantee you the top 5 or 6 are probably going to be gone. I'm probably going to lose iRating in this, but figured with 110 laps, maybe we could try to go green most of the way and have a decent one. You can see the 6 just decided to stop. I ran into him. That kills the 0x part as quickly as I was talking about it. Not really sure what I was supposed to do there. He just kind of checked up in the corner. 4 is looking like he's a bit loose. I know you have to set these things up pretty loose to be decent the middle to back end of the run if you actually run a long run. So I guarantee you I'm still going to get really tight and still get lapped. That's my only goal, is if we can go green most of the way to not get lapped. And anything else above that is going to be a benefit or a bonus. Oh, almost able to avoid that when the 4 and the 7 got together. Not sure how I was able to stop the car and avoid that. That's just, yeah, that was close. So, we're going to see if we can get more green flag laps in this than we normally would. 7 just comes down and chops on me. I don't know if that was netcode or if I'm assuming it's netcode because I never saw an incident point out of that, but I don't know. I mean, I probably wasn't quite there, but it felt like I was on the inside line and he just chopped down across. So up to 7th, only up 2 spots. Fortunately, yeah, I got the 2x, but early enough on could still potentially break even or gain a tiny amount with the safety rating. 7's going to be lining up to our outside. Not sure if he's going to try to chop down again. Just have to see how that goes. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I'm super fast here or great, but I don't know. I feel like there's some of these guys that are a bit more all over the place to start, at least. Like I said, I don't know what happened with, I think it was the 6, the whole chrome car. He just literally didn't go.
We're under caution.
So,
it's closed.
Yeah, let's see where he's at. It's back in 12th, so I think if he's on track, he'll be moving up. Yeah, you can see him back there, so he'll be moving up to 11th. I'm sure he's going to look for revenge, but he literally just, I don't know, I don't feel too bad about that one. I felt like he just stopped. So, yeah, I guess if we can go one caution, then won't be too bad.
Get ready. Race will resume at the end of this lap.
Just got to watch out for the 4. He seemed pretty loose. Didn't really get to see the 11 too much. Not sure what the 9 is going to be like on our outside. Just going to try to stick to the bottom. Try to do the best I can to not lose the car. And hopefully stay off of everybody else and get out of this with the 2X.
Green, green, green. Let's go.
Definitely takes a couple of laps to get a little more comfortable. It's a bit sketchy on cold tires and cold brakes, but I don't know, I still feel like it's probably going to swing too far to the tight side, but I'm just not good enough to drive this thing that loose either. Or got a pretty good start. He's up there. Like I said, he just seemed like he was having a hard time controlling the car, so I feel like I'm kind of, you know, right in this bubble where 7th is probably where I'm going to be. I'm not quite fast enough to hang with the 11, but probably quick enough to pull away from everybody high, and although the 6 is making a hard charge for the front. So we'll see if he decides to repay the favor. 12, or excuse me, the 8 lost it behind us, or not the 8, sorry. I think it was the 9. I don't know. Now I'm getting all my numbers mixed up. 12, maybe? I don't know. All black car behind us lost it off of turn 4, no caution. Wouldn't be surprised if I do it at some point. 11 seems to be falling back. We seem to be catching him. He slows way down in the corner. Had to check up for him. Got another wreck behind. Looked like that might have been the 6. Don't know if he got turned or not. Super late model series might be not happening. I saw a couple of these races at this time slot earlier in the week that seemed to be fairly clean. I think one had like 1 caution and one had 3. So for me, over 110 laps, that wasn't too bad. But yeah, I mean, this is not the way I envisioned this going. Getting like 7 lap runs in. Seems like the 11's a little bit better fire off than I am, but then if I can drive consistent, he starts coming to me. I'm having a problem not driving very clean at all. Really got to work on consistency. So I believe that was the 6 that had the issue. But I guess technically this is more laps under more clean laps without incident points. Sorry, I just blew out of mind blank there. I could not come up with what I wanted to say. So should hope to try to offset the 2x from earlier. Again, gonna have to attend to the outside. He seemed to do kind of okay off the start and then lost it. So 4's up to 4th, which I mean, based on his car number, should be up there. Like I said, he seemed really loose, but it might be one of those that it's just really cold tires, really cold brushers and boost to start, and then it gets better as the run goes, and you'll start seeing them move up even further. I believe the top 4 is exactly as you would expect to be. Yep. Only difference is the 2's running in 1, but everybody else is running where they should. No idea if I'll be able to get to 5th. I'm certainly going to try my hardest, try to get a top 5 out of this, but I mean, if we can get a long run, I feel like if nobody behind me can get to me, I feel like potentially have the pace to get by the 11. I don't think I probably do to get to the 8, but you never know. I believe this is a single split, probably a pretty weak strength of field, even though there's some decent top guys in here, but gonna be getting ready to go, just 20 down, so 90 to go, long way to go.
Green flag, we're racing.
Starts are about the only time I'm thinking about full throttle, otherwise I'm only using about 3/4 throttle out. Wow, the 11 just dives it way under. That was definitely an aggressive move.
Got one inside.
Just gonna have to stay to the top side and let him go if he can hold it.
Still there.
Just gonna see if I can get him by, tuck in front of the 10.
Inside. They're low.
I did not expect him when I got underneath him to just swing it that hard underneath. But fine with letting him go. Yeah, 4 seems to be a bit loose, still falling back. 8's moving up.
That lap was at 13.89.
Feeling like I probably have the pace again with the 11. Just gotta get through, pulling away from the 10. So really feel like it's a 7th place finish. 6 is the only one that seems like he could challenge. Like I said, he might be looking for some retribution from what he felt like was my fault, although I don't know what I was really supposed to do when he just kind of checked up in the middle of the corner. 11 gets a little loose through the corner. A little loose off of turn 2 as well. Not quite there, being able to get underneath him. Again, he just kind of slows up, so 0x, thankfully the very light contact, he doesn't go around, otherwise it probably would have been another 2x if not a 4x. Apparently I'm just not supposed to run close to anybody. Alright, it's time to get by him. He's way off the pace, I feel like I'm faster and he's killing my runs. Start trying to see if I can get underneath him in the corner and complete the pass next end. He lost it and turned down in there. I did not make contact with him, so just going to keep to the bottom side, try to clear him. Got to watch out for another cut down. And he turns us. Thank you so much to him.
Be careful.
Thank you so much to the 11. I just blasted the aircraft. Like, why guys drive that hard? Like, I was completely clear of him, clearly faster, and then he just wants to turn me. So
Pace car is out. Line up single
Yeah, you're
file
gonna see me
behind
drive
car
angry
10.
now.
We're under caution. It's closed.
Try to calm down and try to treat the car right, but that was just unnecessary on his part. Like, it was
yellow.
twice I
It's
had gotten
open.
by him and he just dives it under, and I saw it. Probably should have just let him by, but like, I don't know. That was just not happy with that driving at all. It's not enough to get reported. That's just disrespectful driving, especially when we're not even a third of the way into the race. So I'm not going to give him much respect next time I get to him, at all. I think that should put everybody back on the lead lap. Yeah, so all 12 are going to be back on the lead lap. We're back to where we started in 9th. I've got 2 more incident points that I did not deserve because somebody wanted to drive like an idiot. And yeah, I'm pretty angry now. So feel free to leave your feedback from in-car. Thought that was too aggressive on me and I cut down, or if you just dumped me, and we'll also take a look at it out of the car after the race is done as well. Like, you can see how much you were falling off the pace. You can see how much quicker than I was. First off, there's no reason to fight that hard, but secondly, again, like,
We're under caution. Pits are closed.
no reason to drive that aggressive and dump me. I didn't make contact. Like, the one that he thinks is my fault, I was glued to the bottom dotted line. Like, I don't know where else you want me to go. You drove down into me, and I had the position going into the corner, so just gonna have to work our way back up through the field. Certainly not gonna give him room, and depending on how he wants to drive me, I
Okay, Jake,
may give him a
get
little
ready.
bit of a
Race will
bump.
resume at the end of this lap.
Try to run the 6 as clean as I can, just try to get by him. I honestly felt like I was probably a 6th place car. Car hopefully shouldn't be too bad. It was just a spin, no contact. Tried to do my best to lock it up, so just gonna have to watch out for some of these cars.
E9.
6 is gonna be really slow through the center of the corner. I'm gonna have to keep an eye for that. Just trying to get by the 10 right now. He's able to do a good job hanging to the outside because of how slow the 6 is. I had to do the same thing again and just jump on the brakes because the 6 is so slow in the center corner. He's losing it off a 2 down the backstretch.
P8.
Just taking it easy, feeling like I'm able to pull away from the 7. 6 is really slow, 11's really slow. Not sure if I think the 6 is any faster than the 11. If he is, it might be worth it for me to just sit behind the 6 and use him to get the 11 up off the bottom. But 6 is holding me up, 7's catching me quite a bit. I feel like I'm driving this thing at like 70% right now. Just trying to keep the car glued to the bottom. 7's the only one hanging with him. Just trying to keep him from trying to throw me up off the bottom. These cars are really slow off the corners.
Right side. Clear of line.
Ah, well, that one was on me.
We've got a full course caution. Watch out.
This is just not a good race.
We're under caution. It's closed. We can see Holmes spinned it. Pace car is out.
I don't know, I was
Line up
trying to get by him,
single
trying to get
file
the inside. I
behind
pushed up. That one's gonna be my fault, unfortunately.
Pits are open.
No way I'm gonna get any damage fixed, so I'm just gonna have to ride with it. Who did we lose? It should be back as well. No, the 12's off. Okay. Yeah, that one's on me. This is just gone again. Safety rating's gonna take another tank. I don't know. It's my fault for that driving, but 4x of it I probably didn't deserve. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a rough one. It's the first caution I'll take blame for. We'll take a look. I don't know. I think I pushed up into him, but it's frustrating trying to get around these guys. So now I get to tack on more spots to pick up. I'm still probably going to burn 4x if I get back to the 6 as well. Although, if I decide to dump them, I'm going to try to do it as cleanly as possible to not get any incident points if I
Full
can.
course yellow, pits are open.
That time I won't be angry to take a 4x, unless I'm close to a black flag limit. Yeah, not my greatest showing, unfortunately for you guys, but I don't feel like I've done much wrong other than that contact with the 6 there. 6 is just so slow, and I've not been able to adjust to it. Might have to try going around the outside, but they just the 6 and the 11 kept pushing up off the corner, which is why I continued to try to work the bottom
Race cars coming in this
to get
lap.
by them. No idea how quick the 9 is, but I feel like since I was pulling away from everybody and just getting held up by the 6 and the 11, I'm probably quicker. So it's just going to be trying to figure out what the best way is to get around them. It might be going to the high side, but with the 6 and the 11 on the high side, that might not be the best way to go.
Let's go.
Try to take advantage of the start, see if I can get by the 6. I don't know how slow the 9 is.
He's still there. Keep digging.
9's pretty slow.
He's still there.
9's pretty slow.
Keep it together. Hold your line.
9 is pretty slow.
Inside clear. Clear.
Be careful, we've got a full course caution.
I don't know, 3 wide was not the right call, but unfortunately I had the 6 just cutting down when I probably was already there.
Race cars out. Line up single file.
That was my fault as well,
Kennedy.
but
We think that Holmes has gone off.
I don't
Race car
know.
is out.
Just
Pits are closed.
not good. Not good at all. That's another 2x that I didn't need.
Pits are open.
Frustrating, frustrating, frustrating. I'm not driving great, but you know, not fun either. And expect the 9 to be that slow. I guess that's what happens when you got single splits as well. So probably should have picked a different time slot. Maybe I would have gotten more cars. Maybe it would have been a little bit cleaner. I don't know. Got the 10 going all over the place. It's just a rolling minefield. Although I'm going to be the one that's the rolling minefield right now, because I guarantee you I have more incident points than anybody on the track, unfortunately. And we're not even halfway yet. I want to run this series. I want to try to make it work, but you know, this is the quality of driving outside of me. It's not going to be worth it. We're getting the 1 to go next time by, so we'll be restarting on 54, just under halfway. We'll have 2 to go to get to halfway. We'll be lining up right behind the 11, so certainly not going to give him much respect. Not going to give him much respect.
Alright, Jake, get ready. Race will resume at the end of this lap.
Got the 7 up there as well. I still feel like I could be a 6th place car, and honestly, unless the 4's really gotten to get the setup running, I don't think he's that quick either.
Green flag, we're racing.
Trying to get inside of the 10, also try to see if I get inside of the 7.
He's still there.
See if I can follow the 11 right now until I can pick up the spots that I think I'm able to.
Clear.
Up to 8th, gonna watch for contact between the 11 and the 7, just like that, and I get turned trying to check up.
We've got a full course caution.
Jeez.
Watch out.
My bad,
Race car is out. Line up single file behind Taylor. We're under caution. Pits are closed.
Trying to get the car turned around to stay ahead of the leader. Unfortunately, I'm gonna go a lap down now because I was an idiot and couldn't get the car turned around. But check up for a wreck and get dumped. This whole week has not been good, and it makes me want to go back to not running for a while. So, gonna be a lap down. Joy. Back to dead last.
Right, Jake, that's half distance.
Get 4x out of it because I checked up for a wreck doing the right thing. Like, that's what's more frustrating, is guys can't stay off. Arc or brakes are real.
Full course yellow. Pits are open.
Can't take any more incident points because we're gonna get the black flag. And we are literally just over halfway. This is the way the driving's going. We should be able to get the lap back, but I have to drive so stinking conservatively to avoid all of the contact, since I can't take anything now. It also means unless I can do it cleanly, there's no way to make contact with the 11 if I wanted to. Just Super frustrating. I saw that contact happening, I kind of tried to back off, and then as soon as I saw it hit the brakes and just get plowed over. And unfortunately, because of the no-fault system, it's assigned to me. Drop to the back now to let everybody by. Just gonna sit behind everybody and then just wait and see if we hit a caution. I'm not gonna catch the leaders and get by them, so there's no sense in pushing it, especially when I've got to ride on thin ice with the incident points. I mean, I guess I have to stay ahead of the leader to not go down another lap, so that way if we get a caution, then I'm not going to be able to get back on the lead lap if I lose a lap, but just outside of that, just gotta sit and ride. Actually just gonna start in 4th gear because there's no point in trying to go. Just gonna let everybody roll off and
Green flag.
not battle with anything.
Keep the position.
Because nobody else goes a lap down that's not involved in a caution. We get another one, which we probably will, given the quality of drivers and the guys that are gonna be working their way back from the very back. Should be able to get back on the lead lap, so just gotta watch out for the 9, make sure I don't get into him.
That lap was a 14.31.
Just gonna be driving about as slow as I can.
Full course caution.
There's the caution. Oh, look at that. The 6 was involved. What a shock.
We're under caution. It's closed.
What a shock.
Race cars out. Line up single file behind Kennedy. We think that Lewis has gone off.
4 was involved. Not sure what happened, if that was his fault or not.
Carlo, bud.
Should be able to get the lucky dog.
Pits are open.
Sorry about the radio. Should get the lucky dog candidate relatively soon. Should at least put me back in the position to try to gain spots. So, I guess that plan worked out the way I thought it would. And shouldn't finish dead last with the 11 flipping. Or the 6 flipping. I guess I would have never guessed that the 6 was going to have a problem. Not sure where the 4's going. Wasn't involved in the wreck. Didn't have any incident points, so hopefully the next lap that'll let me by.
Trey, I'm hearing it was netcode, man. I obviously didn't mean to get in the back of you, but
Full course yellow. Pits are open.
Apparently,
Okay, Jake.
I don't get
ready.
the lap
Race
back.
will resume at
I
the
don't
end
know
of this
why.
lap.
I don't know why I don't get the lucky dog. That's weird, but just do the same thing again. I didn't think I made contact with anybody. No new incident points. I don't know. That's weird. Why iRacing didn't give it to me. Whatever.
Green flag. We're racing.
Just gonna sit back again. So it didn't work out as well as I thought I would, but I guarantee you there's still gonna be the possibility for another caution. I'd rather have it happen sooner than later, though, just so I can have enough laps to try to get by some of these guys, but just have to see. Got almost 3 wide up there, so 7 again, driving crazy. Got smoke, brake lock up.
Joining in front.
6 working his way out? Yes, the 6 is. Joy. That's going to be another wreck somewhere. I'm literally just sitting behind the 9, so again, if a wreck happens, I can somehow avoid it and hopefully be able to be a lucky dog candidate instead of whatever iRacing decided to do there.
14.31.
12 loses it. Fortunately, he's off the racing line, so it's not going to bring out a caution. Should allow me to get by him, though.
Gap to Hedden. Ahead is now 15.
Guessing he towed, but I could be wrong. Just riding behind the 9 until I start seeing the leader, and then I gotta go.
Hedden to get the lucky dog position. The track temperature's rising. It's now 103 Fahrenheit. P11.
9's really slow, we're just
Right
gonna go
side.
by. We got smoke again, I think that might have been a slide.
Clear up high.
Start to see the leader on the relative,
You're
so
reeling head in the gaps now, 3.7.
it's about time to go. 12 did somehow get it turned around and going, so I've got to try to catch him before caution comes out in order to be able to get myself in a lucky dog position. So it's gonna be about time to get going. I can see him running up high. Hopefully a caution doesn't come out before I get to him. I gotta get going to try to stay ahead of the leader, not go another lap down, and to try to get by the 12. I am closing in on him, but it's gonna be tough to get by him. Especially because I can't expect the 10 to move out of the way for me. Trying not to get into him and cause a problem.
He's still
Certainly
there.
trying to get by him and get to the 12.
Still there. Outside line's clear.
Of course, now they pick the time to go clean when, you know, I should have gotten the lucky dog and for whatever reason didn't.
Is 0.79.
Stay way low to try to get by the 12 on the inside going into 1.
Still there.
I did not mean to make contact with him. That hurt. That was 2x. I did not need to give away. That was my fault for washing up into him.
P10. The gap to head behind is now 0.
Technically, that's another spot though, so it's one less spot for losing iRating. Not that it's going to do much at this point, because we're probably going to go green the rest of the way.
Thanks for 10x, so dog. Can't pass somebody clear.
Not sure about why the radio's continuing to go. I thought I had shut off. Sorry about that, but love hearing that the 11's talking about, you know, somebody not being able to pass clean. It's kind of ironic. And I'm not going to bother chiming in. Just going to watch out and see if there's going to be a wreck up between these two.
The gap to head behind is increasing. It's now 4.4.
Really need a caution
Okay,
soon
Jake,
if I want a
as
shot at
it is,
this.
heads up.
Watch the 11 dive to the inside. 7 recognizes that, goes high.
The gap to Kennedy.
There should be contact soon between these two, and unfortunately it's there. Up there, almost was. Problem is I gotta keep getting away from these two to get away from the leader, but don't want to be a part of whatever mess they create. Both of them seem like wild cards.
Right side. Clear up high. You got one right side. Clear high.
Yep, that was about as clean as you can make contact with somebody and not get anything for that. I don't know, maybe I pushed up a little bit into him, but didn't really expect much out of it.
You're reeling Kennedy in. The gap is now 5.3.
Try to get to the 9 because he could end up going a lap down as well. Trying to stay ahead of the leader, trying to get by the 11.
You've just done a 14.20.
Hoping that the 7's going to hold up the leader, but we'll have to see. 11 definitely seems slower. Just cannot find my way around him.
That was a 14.
On your right. Clear up high.
He doesn't
Coming
see
up
the
on
benefit in just letting me by, but hey, you know, he's technically the lap car, it's his prerogative. If the leader gets to me, I'm just going to have to give it to him.
Black flag, something to pit to serve this penalty.
Glad that the 11 just decided to stop there.
Far inside. Keep
I should have never been in that spot.
Inside
It's
clear.
so frustrating.
Far inside.
I have to get to the bottom soon to be able to get to pit road. Just gonna
There's
get.
a lap now. I'm trying to
Right side.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
Shouldn't have been running the 11, but
Clear.
again, add strategy to it.
What's your speed limit in the pits?
So many things I want to say to the 11 there.
170 feet.
Also
We've got
said
2
I
laps
wasn't going to
left
be
to come and
kind
serve this
to him,
penalty.
so. Not a good race. Not a good race. Really ashamed to show you guys this, but it's just. I don't know. This.
Box in 5.
You'll have to let me know if you've run any of these to tell me if this is how the
2. 1.
open
now.
ones have been, or if this is, you know, me just being stupid. 10 comes flying in. Did not expect that. That could have been more instant points. Not sure if he had contact. I don't know how many more times I'm supposed to drive through.
There's traffic behind. Take care, rejoining.
Right side.
Just trying to get out of the way. Yeah, wish could have had a better shot at getting up there. I feel like a lot of this could have been avoided had I not had the issue with the caution, but you know, I don't know.
On your right.
It's what it is.
Clear outside.
Also kind of at the point where you might see me pissed off and go after the 11. Haven't decided. Sorry for the language though. That's not normally me. I'm just
Okay, Jake.
very frustrated with how this week's been going and how this race specifically has been going. Got a bunch of idiots driving crazy. They don't understand what they're doing.
You've just done a 14.04.
3 and the 11 get together. Not sure what's going on there. Just gonna sit behind the 11 and let them think about what I might do to them. This might be the first time you guys see me actually intentionally dump somebody. Kinda like that. But a little bit harder next time. Kinda like that. All 0x, it's all on him. If he wants to get out of the way, he can...
He's still there. Still there.
Why he's running me so hard, I don't really know. Like, I don't know. That's just an absolute joke. So,
Clear low.
and there's the protest. That's gonna be the protest.
0.58. Be careful, got a full course caution.
That
This
was...
car is out.
That's
Line
gonna
up
be the first
single
time you're gonna
file
see me
behind
protest.
Kennedy. We're under caution. It's
That was
closed.
ridiculous.
P5 has gone off.
That was ridiculous. I understand.
That was just dirty and funny.
Understand you were frustrated with me, but that was just ridiculous. So
Full course yellow.
Why?
Pits
He
are
wants to
open.
run all over me, so I ran all over him.
that was just ridiculous. I don't care what they're saying anymore. This is just funny. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This is worse than the Daytona race. So appreciate the fact that he left, but yeah, that will be getting recorded and will easily be a protest. I didn't do anything intentional or anything wrong. It's worth it to stay out because it'll put me into 3rd, or 7th, excuse me, in a few laps. Car's actually not a meatball somehow, despite all that, so. T to go, gonna let everybody by. Drop to the back. We're almost all the way to the back. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. I was trying to pay him back for sure.
Pits are open.
But I did it in a way that was not going to get protested because he was slow. And then he went up to the
green
top,
next
so I
time
was
by.
done with it. I had my fill. I was going by him, and he just came flying in. Like you could see, he didn't stop. So, yeah, that should be an easy protest for iRacing to rule. It should be fairly easy to give him some time off. We're just going to finish this out to get to the checker.
Green, green, green. Let's go.
I don't think there's any other spots I can pick up, so
P7. 2 laps.
Right side.
that's what it is.
Still
Just
there.
riding around the bottom so that the 6 doesn't get into me.
He's still there. Keep digging. Hold your line.
White flags now.
He's still there.
White flag. Last lap.
Lots of incidents to review, lots of, shameful driving to talk about. Some on my part, but others not on my part. Yeah, that was pretty pathetic.
P7.
That was a
That's the end of the race.
pretty pathetic
Pilot lane.
race. So let's all take a look at everything because that was just absolutely pathetic. So we'll start with the very beginning.
Good finish for car. That was fun, man.
Tired of hearing that. So let's just watch what happens here. You can see the 11's all over the place. I didn't do anything to him. Cleared him, no problem. Yeah, this is where the 6 just drives underneath and then gets loose. I'm expecting him to go, I'm still on the brake, and then he just goes. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. I don't know how I'm supposed to check up hard enough when he's losing it like that and then basically just stops. And I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Like, let's look at it from his perspective. Watch his miles per hour. Like, they're just going to drop. So he's 80, dropping, 80, 80, 76, 76, 75, 70, and then he just, yeah, I mean, like, he's a good 10 miles an hour slower. I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. Yeah, I mean, that one's frustrating, but it's what it is, I guess. Let's get to... Let's see, we were under caution at this point? No, not under caution. Okay. So this is when you had the issue with the 4 and the 7, and the 4 gets into the 7. I had to lock it up. Somehow I was able to save it. The 11 is going to go flying by on the outside. When I get back to his inside, continue to work the inside on him. Okay, so... I don't know. I guess that one's on me for dumping the 7 there. Because I should have seen him coming down to the bottom. And I tried to stop. Because, like, if you look, you can see here, he's coming down. So I was here, and then you're going to watch me jam on the brakes right there. And that was the point when I already made contact with him. So I tried to do all I could. I don't know, maybe I should have stayed off a little bit more, but that one was a bit rough. So that brought out the caution. So then we're going to get the restart, and this is when the fun's going to start with the 11. He got a good start, got down in front of me. Let's fast forward till I get closer to him. Alright, so here's going to be the first part. Right, we didn't make contact there, I thought we did. Let's fast forward again. Get back to when I got back to him. Oh, under caution at that point. Something else happened in the back, okay. So it's lap 18. So we go green here on 21. Okay. So this is where the fun starts. So he's way up high. I clear him underneath. Absolutely no problem. Didn't wash up into him. He dives down way to the inside of the track. I went up high because I thought he was going to be pulling inside. Running side by side with him. Still giving him a whole lane on the bottom. Like, not doing anything wrong. Had to let him by. Had to dive in front of the 10. Didn't really make any contact there. So I had to reset again. And you can see how much I'm able to drive into the corners, and then I have to stomp on the brakes to try to stay off of them. So build this back up to where I get to him when the contact happens. Oh, there was contact there, sorry. Okay, so here's the first one. So, coming into the corner, on the brakes, he just doesn't go. Yeah, he just, like, I don't know why he waited so long to go. Like, he was continuing to slow down past the point everybody was accelerating, so I don't really feel bad there. I did not expect for him not to go. Get close again, because I was clearly faster than him. Starting to try to look underneath him. So what he's getting frustrated over is actually netcode, because if we take this all the way up above and go frame by frame this, I'm literally holding to the bottom line, trying to work it, and right there is when it gets him loose. So what he got frustrated over was netcode. I mean, I guess you could say technically, right there we made contact, but at that point he was already loose and I was already trying to work my way by him. So what he got angry at over me was actually netcode. So, work to his inside, get by him, and then he just dumps me. Like, just flat out dumps me. So, when he dumps me, I'm not really sure what he's expecting out of me. Like, I'm not going to be happy in that situation. So, get the restart, then we have the fun with the 6. Keep working that. We knew the 6 was slow. He was all over the place. So yeah, I'll take ownership for that one. I just misjudged that one and didn't slow down and didn't get cut down enough. So that was the 4X that I would take ownership for. I'm good with that one. That one was my fault. That one was completely my fault. I will take the fault for that one. So then we get going off of this caution, get by the 6. And then trying to run by the 9. So this is where we get the 3 wide call. I don't know, I mean, I thought the 9 was still there. I didn't see the relative to tell me I was clear, and then the 6 just came down like I was there, like he was just committed. I don't know, I mean, I didn't turn down as much as he expected to. I think he thought I was going to the bottom because he thought I knew it was clear. I didn't know that, and then he came down across me. I'm not. I think that we'll call that a racing deal in 50-50. That wasn't completely my fault, but I could have done things differently there. So we're gonna get a restart. Sit behind the 11 because we're gonna get another quick caution right away. I think the wreck was going to happen behind, if I remember correctly. Nope, right here. So, this was the next fun. So, the 11 and the 7 make contact. To me, it looks more like the 11 pushes up, but that's my opinion. So, then I had to check up for that, and the 10 just doesn't stop. 10 just drills me straight in behind and spins me around. So, 4x out of that with not doing anything wrong. That was when we went a lap down. So let's get back to this. Fast forward. This was the caution that I don't understand why I didn't get the lucky dog, because I literally was sitting behind, literally come to an almost complete stop, never touched anybody, and somehow don't get the lucky dog out of it. Not really sure how that one worked out the way it did. But then let's watch the fun with the 11. Because I was pretty angry. I was definitely pretty angry there. Let's see. Gave him a little bump here. Said hello, don't appreciate you. Sitting behind him because I did want to shove him up the track. Another little bump just to let him know. Again, still not happy with you. So I think he's finally moving over to just let me by. So I go to the inside. I'm done with him. I want to get by him. So right here, I'm literally on the bottom of the track, running the yellow line. Can't get much lower. And he's just going to keep continuing to come down the track. Let's watch it from his perspective, where you can see that he's just going to continue to come down the track through the corner. Just continues to come down the track. So if he's angry about that one's not really my fault. Then we're going to watch him just never decide to turn into turn 1. Right here. And he turns the wheel right. Like that, if that's not intentional, I don't know what is, but you can watch his speed. You can see he's literally not staying off the accelerator at all. He's pretty much on it probably, if not there, and then just turns dead right and then drills me. So that's the protest that's gonna happen. That's just ridiculous. Like, I mean, he drove dumb. It was all mostly his fault. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do, but yeah, super frustrating. So let's just go see how bad the damage is. That's going to be far worse than anything I've dealt with through Daytona week, but I don't know. Let's just try to forget that one, try to move on. 2267, so single split, not too bad. I was in no shape anywhere near them. I'm shocked I was only 2.5 tenths off. That's pretty amazing to me. Yeah, managed to lose 0.83. That's about the worst I've ever lost in one. Only somehow lost 13 iRating. So, yeah, had the most instant points by a mile, but it really felt like I only deserved maybe 8x out of that, if that. Honestly, might have even just been the one contact with the 6. A lot of it was either racing deals or guys just being dumb. So feel free to leave all your comments. There's a lot there to work through. Not a good race at all. Not a good race. Super frustrating. Let me know if your races, if you've run the Super Late Model Open Series this week, if they've been like that as well, because that's certainly not something that I'm going to bother with. That's not fun at all. It's not fun to go back to 1.54. I'm not that bad of a driver. I don't normally look that bad, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, super frustrating as a whole. So. Hopefully you guys got something of enjoyment out of it at some point in time. I feel bad that you had to see all that, but I try to be as transparent with you guys as I can, especially when I don't feel like I did as much wrong, but always love to hear, you know, a different viewpoint where I could have said, hey, I did actually do quite a bit wrong. So, you know, it's always something that I like to hear. So, yeah, just feel free to leave whatever comments you might have. Sorry about how bad it is. I did not think it was going to be this bad. And hopefully I can get you guys something cleaner going forward. So until the next one, hopefully all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.